One moment of madness. One decision that changed football forever. A striker turned goalkeeper in an act of pure desperation. A red card, a penalty, and a nation holding its breath. But when the ball struck the crossbar, joy turned into heartbreak. Suarez, banned but celebrating, became the villain Ghana would never forgive. Was it survival, betrayal, or just the ruthless reality of football? The story of Luis Suarez and the most controversial handball in World Cup history. Luis Suarez was never just another footballer. He played with fire, with hunger, sometimes too much of it. A lethal striker, a warrior on the pitch, but also a magnet for controversy. From stunning goals to moments of sheer madness, his career was a mix of brilliance and chaos. And in 2010, on the grandest stage of all, he would make a decision that would forever define him, a choice that turned him into a hero for some and a villain for others. In the dying moments of the World Cup quarter-final, Ghana was on the brink of making history. A last-second shot was flying toward the net, until Suarez, in an act of pure desperation, did the unthinkable. One hand, one split-second reaction. And football's greatest controversy was born. What followed was heartbreak, celebration, and a debate that still rages to this day. Was it instinct or injustice? Was Suarez a savior or a cheat? One moment changed everything. This is the story of Luis Suarez and the most infamous handball in World Cup history. Uruguay versus Ghana. A battle for the ages. Ghana was carrying the hopes of an entire continent, one step away from rewriting history. But Suarez and Uruguay had other plans. As the clock ticked into extra time, Ghana launched one final attack. A perfect cross, a powerful header, it was destiny in motion. But then, in an instant, Suarez threw himself into football history. Hands outstretched, he blocked the ball on the goal line. A red card. A penalty. A nation held its breath, but fate had another twist. The ball struck the crossbar. Suarez, watching from the tunnel, exploded in celebration. And in the penalty shootout, Uruguay sealed Ghana's heartbreak, a heroic sacrifice or the ultimate betrayal. The world still debates, but one thing is certain, this moment changed football forever. It was the last attack of the match. A header. But out of nowhere, Suarez, the striker, turned into a goalkeeper. With no time left, no choice, and no fear, he lunged forward, both hands outstretched in a desperate, instinctive act. The ball made contact, and the entire stadium gasped. The referee's whistle blew immediately. Red card. Suarez, sent off in disgrace, stood motionless as the weight of his actions sank in. Was it madness? A betrayal of the spirit of the game? Or had he just sacrificed himself, knowingly, to save Uruguay's dream? With his red card sealing his fate, Uruguay's hopes now lay in the hands of Asamoah Gyan. But in that one reckless, split-second decision, Suarez had rewritten the rules of survival in football. Asamoah Gyan had one kick to send Ghana into history. One penalty. One golden chance. The weight of an entire continent rested on his shoulders. He stepped up, eyes locked on the goal, the stadium holding its breath. He struck it with power, aiming to etch his name into history. But fate had other plans. The ball soared through the air, seemingly destined for glory, but in a cruel twist, it smashed against the crossbar and bounced away. Gasps of disbelief echoed through the stands. Gan stood frozen, hands on his head, unable to process what had just happened. His teammates collapsed in despair, knowing how close they had come, and Suarez, watching from the tunnel, he erupted in celebration. Fists pumping, shouting with joy as if he had just scored the winning goal himself. His gamble had paid off. He had broken the rules, taken the red card, and now, against all odds, Uruguay still had a chance. Ghana's dream had cracked in that single moment, and Suarez had become the most hated man in Africa. As Ghana's dream shattered, Suarez cheered. From the tunnel, he celebrated like he had just won the match. To Uruguay, he was a hero. To Ghana, he was a villain. And to the world, the debate had just begun. The story wasn't over. A penalty shootout would decide everything. But after Gan's heartbreaking miss, Ghana seemed deflated. Their confidence was shaken, their momentum lost. Uruguay, fueled by their second chance, took control. Each missed Ghanaian penalty felt like another nail in the coffin. Uruguay held their nerve, and with the final strike, their victory was sealed. As Uruguay celebrated wildly, Ghana stood in disbelief. A historic dream had slipped away. Suarez's sacrifice had paid off, but at what cost? This was just the beginning. Suarez would go on to have a brilliant yet scandal-filled career. The handball, the bites, the controversies, Luis Suarez was always in the headlines. But one question still remains: was he football's biggest villain, or simply its most desperate winner? One hand changed football forever. One decision sparked a debate that still rages today. But imagine, what if Gan had scored? Would Suarez still be the villain? Would Ghana have made history? The heartbreak of that missed penalty wasn't just about one moment, it was about an entire continent's hopes crushed in an instant. Suarez, celebrated as a hero in Uruguay, became a villain elsewhere. The morality of his actions is debated even now. Was it cheating or simply doing whatever it took to win? Football is full of these moments. One decision, one kick, 1 second can rewrite history. And as long as the game is played, the what if will always linger. Because in football, sometimes, controversy isn't just part of the game, it is the game.